We have a rule in our house: 2 hands, 2 dogs. Simple. This rule became even more strict once we moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City. When Brittany and I moved in July of 2020, great timing, we had to find an apartment with a yard. Our 2 old grandmas, Zella and Rue, don't have the best bladder control anymore.
All the time I turn around, brothers gather around, always looking at me up and down, looking at me.
Especially Rue, who is known for her strict bedtimes. When 8:30 rolls around every night, she says, "Goodbye, goodbye," puts herself to bed no matter who is visiting, which always unfortunately results in a 4 a.m. panicked wake-up call to pee. The first year we lived in Harlem, we had a shared backyard, but all to ourselves. This was due to our landlord trying and failing to sell the whole brownstone. Above us was a 4-bed, 4-bath, peacefully empty triplex. That was until our lives changed in a weird way. The tale of the dog I didn't ask for. One day, we heard steps. Lots of loud steps. Lots of loud talking.
Hey, this is great pot! Yeah, one pot, but I'm really stoned!
Not a shred of insulation between those floors.
Oh my God.
We could hear everything.
So, how are you? I am good. I finished my book. Oh yeah? What's it about? I don't remember. Do you want to take a walk? Yeah, I do.
Several days later.
Strangers were in our sanctuary of a yard looking into our apartment through our sliding glass door. Luckily, I had pants on. Many a day was spent in my boxers within eye shot of that door. I walked out, introduced myself, and learned that the new tenants were 2 male models, 1 female model, and a middle-aged ex-priest.
Forget it, I quit. I can't do this anymore, man.
Yep. Insert a confused emoji here. The main person in charge of the rental was the ex-priest, who left the priesthood since he apparently wanted to make more whoopee.
Oh, yeah.
So, he rented the triplex above us and brought along his 20 to 25-year-old model friends. Things were mostly quiet for a few days. Then all of a sudden, we started to hear the pitter-patter of steps.
What was that?
Even though this weird priest and model's family had only moved in a few weeks earlier, I could already tell whose footsteps were whose based on the volume, speed, and time of day.
Wow.
But these were different. Shortly after, I looked outside, made eye contact with a dog. To my right, fast asleep as usual on our memory foam king-size bed, were my 2 dogs. Where did this 3rd dog come from? Once again,
Here we go.
with pants on, I went outside and was greeted by a beautiful, purebred, fluffy, blue-eyed husky puppy. Mishka. What do you know? The 3 models and the ex-priest adopted a dog. Now keep in mind, this was mid-2020. Lots of people were adopting pandemic dogs. In particular, lots of people were adopting dogs that had no business adopting dogs. Especially a purebred husky that requires a painful amount of attention, exercise, and stimulation. The female model told us that she is so happy to have a puppy.
I'm so happy you are alive! I'm so happy!
She mentioned that all 4 of the tenants were going to help take care of Mishka. Well, that was a short-lived scenario. Within the month, she got a job offer in LA, 1 family member down. Then we learned that the ex-priest splits most of his time between the Hamptons and Florida. Therefore, he is almost never home.
Right now, there's an animal who needs you.
Shortly after that, we discovered that one of the male models spent much of his time dabbling in, well, some not so great stuff, which didn't allow much time for anything or anyone else. Aww. This meant that the newly 21-year-old male model had full responsibility of a young, hyperactive, purebred husky puppy. Then what do you know? New York City starts to open up. Mishka's primary caretaker found better things to do with his time. We didn't really see anyone, including Mishka, for a month or so. Brittany, being the dog-loving soul that she is, texted the model to see what was going on.
Hey, if it's not too much trouble, would you mind telling me what the hell is going on?
He informed her that everyone was oh so busy these days.
I've just been so busy that it's been...
So, they left a buttload of food in her bowl, which in turn invited a family of rats to live in our ceiling for a couple of months. They also put down pee pads all over the floor while leaving Mishka alone for 12 plus hours a day. We were, well, horrified. Fortunately and predictably, this team of irresponsible adults leaves their sliding door unlocked all day. So, we started letting their dog out whenever we were home. We call this phase the weird neighbor kid phase. Mishka mostly existed in the yard. We didn't let her in our apartment at first, since she wasn't potty trained. Being that it was winter and she's a husky, we figured outside was better than living on a pile of soiled potty pads. For some odd reason, she started to deliver gifts to our back door. A lot of fun gifts that she brought from the upstairs apartment, like baseball hats, socks, underwear, a fully plastic-wrapped cucumber,
Mishka, did you bring me a gift?
and multiple holiday ornaments.
Can I have it? Come here, come here. Give me the ornament. Give me the ornament. Mishka, 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 give me the ornament. Give me the ornament. Come here, come here. Give me the ornament. Give me the ornament. You want to give it to me? It's literally in your mouth.
Which we still have in our Christmas bin.
Okay, you want to give it to me? You're trying to give it to my puppies, aren't you? All right, come on, come on, come on. You want to give it to them? Mishka, come here, come here. Mishka, come here. Come here. Tell them Mishka has an ornament for you.
She came back with another one.
Uh-huh. Zella. Here she comes. Mishka, come here.
Mish, mish.
During the weird neighbor kid phase, our dogs were becoming good influences on Mishka.
Profoundly influential.
Zella and Rue were showing her their skills of peeing and pooping outside. After seeing Mishka utilize the bathroom facilities like a civilized lady, we started inviting her in for supervised visits.
Come on in.
We also invited the last model standing over for drinks a few times while our dogs played. Things were good.
So good. Oh my gosh.
Enter the next phase. Weird neighbor kid knocks on the door way too often. Now, instead of waiting for us to let her out, the neighbors would leave their sliding door crack so Mishka could come down whenever. She'd whine and paw at her sliding door until someone would let her in. She proceeded to spend all day with us while we sent her back home only for bed. We started buying her toys, teaching her tricks. We even hung up a bell on the back door for her to ring when she wanted to go outside. So, we pretty much had a third dog at this point, which was fine.
As you know,
3 dogs, 3 hands. Fast forward to February March 2021.
Hey, what's everybody so quiet about, huh?
Things were way too quiet upstairs. Mishka's bag of food is not only running low, which we knew because we were the ones that would feed her every day, but had been infested with rats. The rats that have lived in our ceiling for the past few months, scurrying around at all hours of the day, thanks to the models leaving all the food in all the places. Brittany reaches out multiple times.
Hello? Hello?
Can someone please buy her a ratless bag of food to eat? A few days later, we get a call.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Hi. Do you want to adopt Mishka? I can't take care of her anymore. Well, no, we cannot. This dog needs space, stimulation, maybe even some kids to play with, at the least. Not a one-bedroom New York City apartment with 2 tired, overworked humans and their 2 dog grandmas. Brittany and I offered to connect her with a New York-based husky rescue shelter and foster her in the meantime until they could find her a forever home. The lone model listens to us, says he'll think about it, and hangs up. Another month goes by of the Mishka basically lives with us except for a few hours at night phase. We're getting more and more annoyed by the apathy towards this situation. But whatever happens, Brittany asks the model to please give us notice before Mishka leaves so we can pack her a go bag with treats, toys, some notes about her for future owners.
You find out, you let me know.
We had grown to love and care for her. But with that love, we knew that she needed better. Then one weekend in May, while I was in DC with an old bandmate seeing William Shatner perform with the symphony, and as we're eating our hot dogs and enjoying our boozy slushies, Brittany calls. I hate phones. She knows I hate phones. She almost never calls. I answer to a very distraught Brittany, who tells me that the model just texted her that he'd found Mishka a new owner and they will be coming to pick her up in 30 minutes.
What did you say?
What the fuck? All these months taken care of, bonding with this weird, beautiful dog, and she's ripped away in 30 minutes. Well, being the badass nice human she is, Brittany packs up a bag and gets Mishka ready to go. 30 minutes later, an unmarked black SUV pulls up and a driver gets out.
Where is she?
Where is, insert model's name here, said the driver. As soon as Brittany tries to get Mishka past our front entry gate, she locks up and refuses to leave. This is foreign territory for her, and she knows she isn't supposed to leave the gated area. After a small struggle, a few tears, and a big hug, Mishka's driven away by a private chauffeur. And that was it. 2 hands, 2 dogs. A few weeks pass, and no word or sounds from anyone or anything upstairs. Our cozy home is peaceful again. A little less exciting, but peaceful. That's where we thought the story would end. Unknown and a thing of the past.
Sorry.
However, one random day, the ex-priest sends me photos. She has a family now. A wholesome family with 4 kids, none of whom are models or ex-priests. In the Hamptons, by the way, which, frankly, is a better situation for this dog than we could have ever imagined. In our 2-hand, 2-dog household, we didn't ask for a third. We didn't ask to get so attached to her. But we are so glad she is in good hands. You know that saying by now, 8 hands, 1 dog.